Here we go. We're beginning now. This is meditation study group on October 24th, 2024. And we're just starting, so perfect timing for everyone. Got a full room here at the Unitarian Church and some online. Some will watch. At a later date. So we're just getting settled here. But if we can just bring our focus and attention to the inside. And by way of introduction, this is going to be one of those meditations where we don't stay in meditation the whole time. There will be moments where we brainstorm within ourselves and write down some comments in response to the questions. So we start by our breath and deeper breathing. Go ahead and help her, Ryan. Got a knife? And you're sitting, lying down in the most comfortable position for you. We're going to prepare the room as we did last week. We're going to gather all of those from the divine realm, ready, willing, and able, available to be with us today. We do place violet flames in every corner of this room, and every corner of the room represented by those listening online now or later. Also violet flames in the center of this room to clear out any stale or negative energy. And gold and silver light around all the edges of this room, covering us round about. So that only the energies and beings of highest vibration may be present with us today. And all that is said during this meditation, all the preparation, all the request from the divine realm is extended to those beyond this room, in any room that's represented by those who are listening here. So we call upon the divine realm, our own true and higher selves, our guides and helpers, masters, teachers, loved ones, the divine team associated with everyone present for this meditation, and spirit council known by many of us, or angels and archangels, gods and goddesses, all beings of highest vibration. We ask for assistance, and we join you as you join us, and we are you as you are us. We are all one. Continue that deeper breathing. Continue that focus on the inside, riveting your gaze upon your breath and breathing. coming into this now time, to the only moment that exists, the continually unfolding present moment of the eternal now. A continual now at each breath, in each focus. And our intention during this meditation is to address the very nature of desire itself, its effects, value, meaning, and purpose. To bring the very power of desire under your conscious and deliberate direction, so you may create as the divine created you, with perfect, deliberate, and infinite love, joy, and freedom. We're going to venture into this area of desire, and all those desires that you were told, possibly by yourself or others, that you are not supposed to have or to dream that big. And it's absolutely necessary for us all to correct our perception and relationship with the energy of desire. Desire is creation. Every time you desire, there's a potential to create. So what you desire is of supreme importance. And even just during this meditation, we're going to entertain the wildness of desire. And we may conclude at the end that it can be narrowed down into specific manifestations or desires for manifestation. As we consider it, we're not going to be careful. We've always been careful with desire. We've always considered how it may impact our lives or even other people. But we're going to dream and fantasize and consider desires. And a lot of the times that we may have been squelched in our desire is in reference to having, and even having wealth and riches and money. Those are desires. Or even in the area of sexuality and connection with other people. What if just for this time, it's okay to have desire? It's okay to give into that. So as we begin, I'd like to ask these questions. What do you truly want? What is it in your heart that keeps calling out to you and keeps compelling you? And if you will, just decide during this meditation to let that desire inform even your choices, so that you can create a life that serves the fulfillment of that thread of desire. Coming back to your breath, being open to you and the vastness that is who you are as a personality, and the vastness of your own inner being, and breathing down into that, being present with your breath, coming back to now. Desire, in wishes and pondering like this may take you out of the present moment, but always keep your heart centered in the now time, coming back to now always, because there is no other moment. But you do play with it. We all do. We go other places. We're going to consider the energy of desire, the energy required to take you from what may be considered your own myopic self contraction, how you limit yourself, which you have become identified with the little drops of foam on the tip of the wave in the ocean, tossed to and fro by a power that seems to be outside of you, and then moving into a sense of identity with the silent depth of the ocean that is everywhere present and seems to know no beginning and no end. The very energy that will carry you from the tip of the wave to the depth of the ocean is the energy of desire. We're pausing now just for a moment, answering the question, what do you really want? What do you really desire? Just giving yourself a minute here to observe whatever comes up in the mind or is even felt in the body. And we all have notebooks here, and hopefully you do online too. And when that response comes, nobody's going to look at anybody else's notebook. When the response comes, notice that there is a feeling that's associated with it, quality that makes your cells sing just a little bit. This is the energy, the elixir of life called desire. You may begin to write things down if you so choose to, but you may want to deepen into it, relaxing the body. You have your eyes closed. It can be of great benefit to let the breath become very deep, even deeper and rhythmic. This relaxes the nervous system and seduces the controller within your mind, that critic that decides what thoughts are okay and which ones aren't. But as you relax the body and the mind, ask yourself, what do I truly want? And observe the images that come to you without judgment. Notice the feelings in the body. There may be images, there may be feelings, there may be sensations, there may be thoughts in response to what you're considering about what you really want, what you really desire. And then let's pause for a moment and take a couple minutes. You can open your eyes, and I want you to write down all that you can remember from this time. And you come into a deeper brain state, and you can remain there even as you open your eyes and you write. Deeper states are accomplished simply by closing your eyes and breathing deeply. But there is a way to maintain that calm, peaceable state with eyes open, even as you do something creative like writing. What is it that you really want? What is it that you really desire? What if you take off the saddle and the harness and let the rope down and unleash your greatest desires and interests? You may have had these dreams for a while. You may do this often in your life, or maybe you felt stifled in reference to desire, and you have desires that you haven't even let come into your mind that often, because somehow you were told not to have them. But put that aside, suspend that judgment, and come with compassion and not judgment. And let your desires flow. And keep writing if you need to. But if you've written enough, you just come back, close your eyes again, take a deep breath, relax again, maintain that deeper breath rhythm. And you can even put your hand or hands on your heart, because this is a place where the heart is allowed to be open and present, the desires that come from the heart. Breathe into the heart space a few times, or breathe in and out of the heart. Let your heart be open. Let your heart know that it's okay to wish and desire and to want. And this may seem redundant, but we're going to do it again. I'd like for you to ask yourself again, what do you really desire? If you go through this, maybe even a few times, you may notice different things. Other things come up, or there might be themes. Let your heart be open and present in this experience. And again, allow this process to be what it is. What else do you desire? What are your other desires? Some of you are writing, some of you are continuing to ponder. Whatever you're doing is just fine. Consider your desires. Consider them as holy and sacred. They speak to the greatest yearnings of humankind and perhaps why we're all here, to allow our greatest desires to come into manifestation so that we can become the great beings that we are meant to be. And I'd like for you to do this again. This will be the third time. In the book, The Way of Mastery, they ask that you do it 7 times, and it's to last 15 or 20 minutes. It could take a long time, but we're not going to do it for that long. But if you were to take a moment again and to consider your desires, and write down something else. And then if you happen to write quick, you can do it again. You may have already done that. You may be writing more than up to a page or more about all of your desires. This lesson is called Following the Thread of Desire. And that's what you're doing. Following that thread. And where will it lead? We don't know. And we're not predicting any outcome. We're not even entertaining a future that doesn't exist anyway. We're staying in this moment. We're deepening our breath. And we're following the thread of desire. And you can do it again if you want. Write down other things. And at some point, regarding all that you've written, whether it's a few lines or a page or two, look back through all that you've written down on the page or pages, all that came up. You may consider what may have repeated itself, what came up maybe even more than once. What are the themes? Did you notice any patterns or threads that seem to run throughout this entire exercise? And however you want to note those, you can write additional lines or you can underline in your journal. And then one last thing, I'd like for you to pick one of those desires and write it down at the bottom of your page, even though you already wrote it. Write it again in the present tense, as if it's occurring now. Instead of I desire or I would like to, write it in its current state, in the present moment. I am dot, 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 however you want to account for it. And imagine just for a moment as we come to the end that everything that you have ever desired or wanted is true and occurring, and it is a reality in some plane of existence. If it wasn't, you wouldn't have that desire. It must have been created in some way by you or someone else, perhaps your higher self. I like to call this living as if your prayers are already answered, and even physiologically signaling the gene ahead of the event so that your gene, your physiological experience, your DNA, the cells and molecular structure of your body, and your consciousness and the energy of who you are in your body is given a chance to believe your greatest desire and desires. And then whatever you've written about your desire that you've offered in the present tense, you can say it in your mind right now. And then say it again and again and again, not just now, but as you leave this time, and go into your evening, and even into the next day, begin to believe that that's a possibility for you. Not only a possibility, but it is a current reality, and it's waiting to be manifested into your life. Now let's begin to come back from our meditation and exploration time. Just settle back into your body as it sits in this room or the room that you're in. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes.